Hello everyone and welcome back. This is the men's final match for Pool C between the Atlanta Wolves on table left, the close side to the camera, and the Renegades on table right, far side from the camera. The Renegades began this game with a delay of game penalty. Sorry, working my best to get all the rosters up. For the Renegades, we have number 6 on right wing, number 8 in the center, number 7 on left wing. For the Wolves, number 1 on left wing, number 9 in the center, number 2 on right wing. Going to confirm the score and check in on the time. And the score is tied up 2-2. Just under 9 minutes to go in the first half of this men's gold medal match for Pool C. And we'll have a timeout for the Wolves. And the Wolves will start off with the ball from the left wing post, full cross. Returned back into the right wing gap. Turned from the center back in towards the middle. And apologies that our stream in Gym 1 keeps getting interrupted and restarting. Alright everyone, 7 minutes remaining in the first half of this men's gold medal match for Pool C. Left wing number 1 from the Wolves with the cross-court shot, blocked forward by Newsom out of the middle. Number 9 with the ball into the left wing gap. Newsom over for the ball, steps into the middle, angles into the right wing gap, and hit out by the center. From the right wing, number 2 for the Wolves. From the right wing post goes full cross. It's cross from Stephen Smith, returned by right wing for the Renegades. Number 1 from the Wolves with the ball, Julius Lindsay crosses to the feet side of the center, skids out past the feet and past left wing. Number 7 on left wing with the ball, shoots into the near gap. It'll be Michael Spriggs. Blocked by center, returned into the left wing gap. And left wing, Spriggs with the ball, shoots straight down, popped up by the right wing, and forward. And drops the ball out, close to the high ball line though. And number 8 with the ball, moves towards the right wing post, goes into the near gap, ticked by the feet of center, covered by left wing Julius Lindsay. Lindsay with the ball from the left wing post, cross gap. Spriggs, number 7 with the ball, returns into the near gap, blocked out by the hands of center. And out of the middle from number 9, Felix Walker, blocked by Newsom. Newsom out of the middle, goes wide for the right wing gap. Got an equipment check for number 2, Stephen Smith, on the right wing. And from the right wing, number 2, Smith with the cross court. Blocked on right wing by number 6, Ricky Johnson. Returned by Smith from the right wing into the near gap, blocked out by the feet of Newsom. And left wing, number 7 with the ball. From the gap, back into the middle, number 9 with the block out. It's going to drop back in with number 9. Felix Walker. Walker out of the center, blocked by Newsom. Newsom from the center to the right wing post. And number 2. Number 1, Lindsay, over for the ball, who will switch to, throws out of the right wing into the near gap, then returns to their spot on left wing. 4:47 remaining in the first half of this match. Left wing shoots into the near gap, retrieved by number 9, and Walker from the right wing gap towards the left wing post. From the left wing gap, Number 7 shoots into the near gap. Blocked by 2. 2 from the wing line. Back into the middle. Blocked by center. Newsom out of the center. Angles wide to the right wing gap. Pops over the right wing. And tying the score back up. 3-3. Keeping a very close game in the first half of this men's Pool C gold medal game. And out of the center, number 9 shoots in the middle, blocked by Newsom. Passes off to left wing, number 7 shoots straight down. 2 with the block. And 2 will take it from the end of the wing line, back into the near gap. Blocked forward by Newsom, and it'll be a timeout for the Renegades. And here joining me to cover the rest of this game will be Tim Dornbrock. Tim, thanks for joining us. We've got a tied game between the Wolves and the Renegades. Wolves starting off with the ball, left wing, Julius Lindsay, and passing things off to...
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It'll take me a minute to catch up on the names, and we will get there. But I'll hang out with you for the rest of this one. Mary Bile will return for the women's gold medal game, and then I'll come back and hang out with you for the men's. Tie game 3-3. Renegades in red near me. They will fire this one across. Actually, yes, that is accurate. The Renegades fire this one across, and the Wolves will collect their left wing. Left-handed, slinging the ball down the line. That one blocked out of bounds by number 2. And we have a man down on the floor, number 2, there for the Renegades. Or maybe the Wolves are in red. Could be Stephen Smith. One moment, guys. Sorry, everybody. The Wolves are in red. That was Stephen Smith taking a second on the ground there. And the Wolves will return fire, and they will score. Wolves now leading 4-3 here in the first half of this Pool C gold medal match. Renegades returning fire across the face of that defense, going for that same number 2, Stephen Smith. Joining me here in the booth is Jason Capati, having a seat, having just come off the court in his matchup. I'm still learning the numbers here, so give us just a second, ladies and gentlemen. But Stephen Smith, the number 2, will block this one out of bounds. From left to right, the Wolves lineup is number 1, number 9, and number 2. So that's Julius Lindsay. Number 9 in center is Felix Walker. Yep. I think that's the other side. So the Wolves are in red here by us. So we've got, yep, no, that's quite all right. We've got Julius Lindsay, then we've got Felix Walker and Stephen Smith from left to right. And then you are correct in the center at the other end for the Renegades. We've got, looks like Kendall Newsom is playing center over there. In between a couple numbers I haven't picked up yet. But the Renegades return fire on the Wolves, who just went up 4-3 on them. From our left to our right, the Renegades lineup is 6, 8, and 7. And so that is Ricky Johnson, Kendall Newsom in the middle, and Michael Spriggs firing away on the other side. I'm not going to remember names, ladies and gentlemen, so I'll do my best just to call the numbers out to you. But here in the middle, on this side, we've got the Wolves returning fire in their red uniforms, right-handed out of the center. He'll throw a chopping shot into the gut of the number 8 of the Renegades, Newsom, who will return fire. This one popped up, but out of bounds. Easily enough. It was. Not bad at all.
Nice shot. Short cross from center to the 4. Center needs to take a check here.
Yeah, you very well might, but they haven't honored it yet, so what the heck? Keep playing.
Play on, Wolves.
You know what? If you can see, you can see.
It's on the left at this point.
This ball
Signal.
fired into the gap there, but collected by the center. And the tall number 1 for the Wolves will fire this one across court all the way over, but collected there by the veteran number 7. Looks like Spriggs there on the corner. And he'll knock this one. Oof, it's a nice little shot down the line, but Smith is there, knocking this one just out of bounds with his hands.
They're really testing that right wing down here, too.
They are. They're going after him. He was on the ground for a minute, looking like he needed a break, maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago. And he's taking another moment here just to kind of rest on his back. So
Now,
they might have a...
Is that something you, as a coach, or...
Oh, goodness, yes. You see a gassed player, you go after him. Like, there's... Once the whistle sounds, there's really no friends out here. I mean, certainly you don't want to hurt a guy if he's really that bad off, but that's where you hope you have subs that you can bring in for anything too serious. But yeah, man, if I'm on the floor and I look gassed, which sounds familiar from yesterday, I'd expect nothing less.
If you're capable to stay on the court, then you're fair game.
You are. That's too right. So, let's see here.
From center to the 4.
Not bad from the Wolves here yet. Firing it over. Collected, though, by their right wing. He'll fire across court, but it goes harmlessly wide past the hands and the post of Smith, who still looks like he could really use a nap and a hug.
This is not his way to work out.
Might not be. Number 2, Stephen Smith fires this one across. This one will go just out of bounds. It is, actually, yeah. The other, the bronze medal game here will be the pool team going on right now, taking on the Youth USA boys. So that makes it all Atlanta here for the crown of Pool C.
Oh, this is good.
This is, yeah. This is the final for Pool C. So it's all Atlanta.
It's a great treat.
So, really is. Anybody who came out to see their folks play is really going to enjoy this. And when you're playing in a final against a team that you're used to practicing with, it just takes so much of the pressure out of the room.
Yeah.
I mean, you're able to relax. You know what it is. And I mean, it's just so much better. Anytime we used to play against the South Florida lineup, it was just fun. It just became practice again.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how, you know their games, they know your game.
Yep.
And now it just comes who can execute better.
Yeah, it really can. And there's something about that. I mean, there's an awful lot of us around the country who keep up with each other. And, you say you have a lot of friends in the game, so a lot of our games end up being, just the boys playing against each other. But there's something different about the guys that you practice with, like that you see on a very regular basis. So, I know all the guys on the Manacores well. We could return texts with them, whatever, all the time. But it's just different when it's the guys that you practice with all the time. It's just a new level of ease when you get out there, and it's an awful lot of fun. So,
and especially with Atlanta's professional sports teams being so unsuccessful, it's great to see a successful Atlanta team here.
I've got Kapati right now. But yeah, we can. And we're back. It's halftime, ladies and gentlemen, and we got the Wolves leading 4-3. We will check back in with you as the eye shades get checked. And we are returning here for the second half. The Wolves lead 4-3. Wolves here on our side dressed in red. And the Renegades at the far side will begin with the ball. Spriggs, the number 7, will step into the center, and he will take the first opening shot here, firing left-handed. He'll find the body of Smith, who calls it loose, but grabs it immediately as it's just right there in front of him. Spriggs firing across the face of Newsom. Newsom will collect. He will knock this one up, and that'll be a ball over as it does cross the high ball line and find its way out of bounds.
Tim, I'd like to ask you, you heard a fine gentleman at right wing here. He called loose when he had control. I've used that as a strategy to throw off the defense.
Yeah, that's absolutely a ploy that can work.
On Florida yesterday doing that.
You very well might have. There were a lot of goals, hard to keep track.
Do you like that?
I do. I like the gamesmanship of it. I really do. In this case, though, the ball did squirt forward on him just a little bit, so that struck me more as like a less experienced player, not realizing that the ball was that close to him. It just simply popped up and forward a little bit, but still right there. But no.
That I just gave my secret out to the world.
I'm a big fan of any kind of gamesmanship. It doesn't mean it won't work. As here we go with a nice cut shot from Newsom or Spriggs right into the gap, blocked out of bounds and off to the side of the post. That one close to finding the pole, but
that center attacked that one high and really attacked it. That was great.
Absolutely.
It's a great cut gap.
Newsom looking for the ball, and he will just knock this one out of bounds. Yeah, I don't know a lot of these younger Atlanta players.
Youth now, like he was part of the youth group with you and Andy. I thought I heard.
Could have been. Could have been back then. But yeah, I don't know the man personally. But yeah, both of these Atlanta lineups are a little bit foreign to me. But I know I've seen Newsom play before in youth nationals. A couple times when that's been at Florida. I've had the privilege of going down and working with that a little bit and calling some of those games. I know I've seen him there before in the past. Spriggs with a big left hand. This one will be attacked by the center again. He got the ball high, and it went way high and rattled the top bar on its way over the net.
Just a little later on that attack. That's why it was headed for the goal. But
yep. Jason, when I was in my young 20s, my mother was kind of our team mom, and she used to say that she thought that there should be a second goal on top of the goal, and if you knock it up, then you get a 2. And so yeah, if the ball gets popped up and into the top goal, then you get 2. And thought that'd be interesting. I'd be okay with it, but I think it needs to be like a ball and a half tall. Like, you got to really get it in there. Like, it can't be a full-size goal on top of the goal. It's got to be like, only big enough for like a ball and a half to go through. Like, it's got to be perfect. And it's one of those shots that just ticks you off. But
that definitely promote better form, better trapping.
Yeah, I think so. It's a hilarious gimmick, is what it is. But and we've got a stoppage here on the floor.
Right wing seems to be.
Yeah, it's Stephen Smith. And he's been down a few times. I believe they're checking him now. I don't know if they're giving him the full-blown concussion tests, but safe sport becoming a much bigger deal in our game here in the last decade or so. Thankfully, so we're gonna. Mulhern calling for the medical timeout here. We'll begin the 45 seconds.
May have been a line shot that
could
caught
have
him.
I think he simply had his bell rung once or twice. I don't know if by the crossbar or was by the ball a few times, but yeah, he's been looking like he needs a break, especially towards the end of that first half. It might just be general fatigue, and they will pull him here. So we're going to see Stephen Smith, number 2, head off the court to the applause of the crowd. And they're going to bring in, I believe they said number 7, and that is going to be Matthew Gavin stepping onto the floor for these Wolves, dressed in red.
Now, is that a medical substitution or just I know there's a distinction between.
They did pull him during the medical timeout, so I believe that does count as a medical sub, yes.
So it doesn't allow him to return to the game until.
I believe that is correct for the rest of the half. I believe he is off, which of course we are in the second half.
That could be crucial. It depends. I don't know who Matthew Gavin is, but.
It could end up being that, yeah, especially if this is the lineup that they've rolled with for a while now. It can always throw you off, but this is where you hope that you're 4 or 5 guys deep and you've got a lineup that can hang. So we're going to see what the number 7 has. Looks like Number 1 has come over to play the right wing, and Gavin will move to the left. So the new guy will be in the 9 hole for the Renegades to throw at. I grew up in a system that preached always, always, always go after the new guy.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see how this goes.
Interesting anecdote here. Alfonso Harrell, one of my good friends from the New Jersey organization. Shout out to ABA and Jay. I brought Alfonso to Goalball. I was speaking at a summer event he was attending and talked to him about how he needs to get involved, and here he is 10 years later. He's pool playing this time, traditionally a left wing now, having to play right wing due to the medical situation.
And your boy fires a skip shot that just goes out to the side there.
I like that. Nice reverse cut to the nine.
Goalball being such a still a niche sport that so many people don't know much about. Obviously, it's a sport designed for a particular group of people, but it does make all of us ambassadors of the game. And so when you have somebody like that that you know that you helped bring into the fold, it certainly makes you kind of proud to see their progress.
Spread the good word of Goalball.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a Paralympian now in Zach Bueller, who was a guy who came on, just a number of years ago from a sports event, that some of the Paralympians like Darryl Walker were a big part of. And, Darryl, I've identified him early as a guy who didn't have a lot of quit and, thought he would be somebody who would train hard and become what he has. And yeah, here we are. So now the officials call for noise just from the crowd, not a penalty situation.
But cross-court ball blocked by Alfonso. Now he's sweeping over
to hand the ball off to the new.
Oh, a handoff. I love it. Get him involved. Great job, Alfonso. Could be some of his veteran leadership.
Yep. And the left-handed number 7 throws the ball. And it's fairly smooth. This one popped up and out. It'll go harmlessly out of bounds at the wing line. So it always makes you a little nervous when it pops up and over.
This left wing seems to be favoring the line.
He is. He's maybe a little tentative, a little just figuring out how to get in the game. He's getting warm. That'll be an official time.
That ball's going back to the...
It will. So the Renegades will get another shot here with the Wolves still leading 4-3. Only downside of Gym 1 is I don't have eyes on the clock, so we're going to see. It's moving slowly so far, so I can't imagine we're too deep into the second half yet. But no scoring yet.
Sweet.
Spriggs will go over and hand the ball off to the right wing, who will fire it into the legs of the center. Big number 9 will get up, move back to his net. He'll fire this one, skipping shot right at Newsom. Newsom knocks this one out of bounds with his chest and arms. It'll be dropped back in to the right wing. Official time for equipment check again for Newsom. These eye shades are spring-loaded this weekend. Awful lot of these. I had 2 in a row myself the other day. I felt like some kind of prima donna who constantly needed to be checked.
So I had 2 in a row in our bronze medal game just now, and the ref warned me about potential delay of game. Is that real?
Yeah, they absolutely can if it's a thing that continues to happen. So on my, if I have a second one, I tighten my shades significantly. So it's just one of those, might as well. But yeah, that is a ref's discretion situation. If they see you get hit in the face several times, I don't think they're going to call it on you necessarily. But yeah, it's
ultimate wound.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that if it becomes a nitpick thing, then yeah, they can absolutely pull that on you if they feel like you're not really trying to help yourself out and not have them. Skipping ball here, blocked by Newsom, but that one's going to find the net.
Shot by that center.
And the Wolves will go up by 2 here.
So there was a handoff from the left wing here to center. He had a mean, almost a cut gap to the 3. Had a lot of action on the ball. I like his game at the center.
Yep. He's a solid ball player. Newsom is young. But he's going to lead his team here. He's getting that's 2 in a row. All right, when I said it.
2 in a row.
Newsom just got crossed up a little bit there by a skipping chop shot, and it'll be 6-3 in favor of the Wolves.
Yo, way to lead, Alfonso. I gave him false credit. Big momentum swing right there.
It really is. If you're the Renegades here, you can't get down. There's plenty of game left here. But you've absolutely got to start finding some shots.
What is this the Renegade strategy? In this timeout right now, what are you...
I think at this point you've got to tell them, first of all, you've got to give them a good pattern. You still have plenty of time for that. And so I'm always in favor of having, whether it's the wing or the center, together, collectively saying, hey, look, we're going to pick on a guy. We're going to hit him one way for a little while, and then we're going to make him go the other. We're going to, whichever direction it is, we're either going to try to suck the defense in and hit the gaps or hit the lines, or we're going to go the other way around. Inside out or outside in, whatever it takes. But I think this is where a well-placed, smooth ball can still be so effective if you can put it on the spot. Everybody wants to skip the ball now, and I get it. It works. But at the same time, a well-placed heater, as the miscommunication there, as the new guy, number 7, almost throws a high ball, and he tries to hand this one off to the players, but they don't recognize it, so he's forced to take it himself. Spriggs out of the middle. He is taking the center position. That one bounces up off the center's feet, hits the post, and comes right back to him. They're able to deliver that one just a couple of centimeters one way or the other, and that one either goes out of bounds or hooks right into the net. Newsom now from the wing. We'll fire this one right into the legs of your boy.
Look at that shot.
Fonzo firing a good little quick pitch with a skip on it. Newsom equal to it, though. You like to see it. I don't think there's any quit in these Renegades. I think they just had a bad run there for a second. So, premature throw there from Newsom, though. Being aggressive still, you can't get mad at that.
I like that idea. I love releasing that play.
Yeah, trying to release on the whistle is great, and that's interesting too, because much like baseball umpires, referees have different feelings on whether or not they're going to be a part of your game, essentially. Like some of them will never break their cadence, really, unless the crowd dictates it, but some of them just refuse to let you time yourself up on them. So you got to know who's officiating your game. Big bouncing shot from the center.
Same shot he scored on a couple throws ago.
That one dies out just enough. Spriggs collects in the middle and turns, fires left-handed. This one popped up and out of bounds by the center. Playing very aggressively. The ball's, he's not trapping the ball, but he is knocking it wide well enough, so attacking aggressively.
His right palm is going to be swollen after that. I would attack this one right here. Alfonso is not traditionally playing right wing, and he dives hands into the gap.
Yeah.
So a nice maybe reverse cut into the one.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have him favoring the gap.
Could very well work, yeah.
Yeah. But let's see if they know that's not his comfort.
That one drifts just out of bounds. John Mulhern and Hal Simpson both sitting the bench for this Wolves team, and so
they abandoned.
It's got to be
the Renegades.
I guess so. I don't know who's over there for the Renegades. Somebody's on their bench, I believe, but
Wellington.
Very well could have been, yeah. But seems like an advantage for the Wolves here. So see if that ends up being a big part of it here, unless the Renegades can really put on a nice rush. Nice bouncing shot, but dropped right onto the old breadbasket there of Spriggs, who will collect in the middle. Veteran number 7, winding up left-handed, firing a skipping shot, but he gets straight into the 5. You got to get that ball out of the middle. It's just too easy. Oof. Alfonso nearly running over his own center, but steps in and says, yeah, I did that on purpose. This one's going to be a ball over.
I love a good ball over.
It's always good. It's nice to get your change, isn't it?
Yeah. Rebounds just adds to the stats.
It does. Alfonso will turn. He'll fire. Almost running into the center again, but, he's in control. Hadn't done it yet.
Oh, wow. A bit of commotion in the back there, collecting that skipping ball.
Yep.
Good timeout.
It's funny, we mentioned some of these shots that have gone right off of the center's hands as he's being aggressive, and you can just hear that slap all over the court. You just know. I can't help but think, especially since I'm looking right at John Mulhern, goodness, this must have been, 2006, 2007, quite a bit ago, but one of my first tournaments, having playing between Dante and Darryl back on the old Northeast Florida team, we used to play in Kalamazoo, Michigan every year in a big drafty gym. And it was so hard for me as a young man to get my hands warm up there. It was usually like halftime, where the time my hands were actually not flipping cold anymore. And I'll never forget, is very early in the game playing against Paba. We ended up tying them 2-2 by the end of it. But John threw an absolute screamer into the gap. I caught it cleanly with my hands, but it slapped my hands so hard that they both went numb immediately. And I felt great. He did me a favor in the first 2 minutes of the game. I felt like I could put my hands in front of a train and I would have been fine.
You did.
So, I pretty much
the
did.
Mulhern Express.
That man, it's just goodness. He could throw back in the day. So, and Spriggs is here. I don't think folks who... Here we go with a sub for... And we're going to see Alfonso come out, actually. as the Wolves do have a 3-goal lead here. They're going to trust the center here, it looks like, to really work with these bench players and keep the score right where it is. You got a good cushion to work with, you might as well. But it's so funny. I love being starting to feel like an old man in the game because just seeing some of the faces that are still around, guys who were playing long before I was. It's just great to see guys like Mulhern, and I don't think young people, the newer folks to the game are never going to understand how feared. No, there wasn't that, but no one's going to understand how feared that guy was for so long. When I was 15, going to my first men's tournament, I mean, John was the boogeyman. There was a couple guys like that you just don't practice against that when you're in high school. So
and just the intimidating mountain of a man he is. My first tournament, my first game was against Andy Jenks, Josh Schwartz, and John Mulhern.
Yeah.
They're on the larger side of, yeah, it was definitely intimidating as a 16-year-old, skinny high schooler. I was not sure what I was getting myself into, but here we are. What I was going to say about my coming to age moment of realizing how old I am in goalball right now is not recognizing the majority of the people in this gym right now.
Oh, sure.
Just walking here, I was like, I don't know many people right now.
Yeah.
And that was not the case for a while, so I guess
that'll happen.
There's a wave coming, and it's exciting.
It is. No, it really is, and I think that's where it's important. So when you find yourself in that situation, like, let's learn some of these names, let's encourage these guys, let's keep them around, because and I love that we have the men's division now. It's not just all one bracket. There were so many young teams that would come and just get destroyed and get discouraged, and now we've really got a developmental thing, and the other side of that coin is it's going to be a developmental bracket for younger teams, but it's also basically a senior circuit. So, when my wheels fall off, I'm going to go ahead and play till I'm 50, but I'll play down there. And, maybe even hopefully veteran players that are not really able to hack it at the top end anymore can still act as, guides for some of those younger teams too and be encouraging opponents. That was actually our original plan this weekend. Was I was going to be a player coach with an emphasis on coach for Florida Red, but a couple of our guys had to bounce out, so we merged into white, and I ended up playing with you fools again. And as the scorecard will show you, my body was just not ready for that. But here we go. I'll try to give you a better run next time I see you. Number 7 here for the Wolves, firing back, still 6-3 in favor of the Wolves. And the Renegades, right wing now, newly inserted into the game, will fire this one down. This one knocked up by number 7, and that one slow rolls into the net as he just wasn't quite ready for it. Tipped up his hands.
It's just
he's now 6-4.
You dive too early, and especially a slower, smoother ball like that, your body is not trying to stay upright that long. So you need to wait longer and attack the ball. Don't let it wait and come to you. And that's just a case of him waiting for the ball to hit him, and he was tilting back right through his extremities.
Yep, and the Renegades are actually pulling Spriggs here, who has been manning the center, so got to imagine Newsom is going to go back to the middle and play that position for the rest of the way here as another newcomer comes off the bench.
See, what I love about this format is if there was still like a mixed bracket without this intermediate, I don't like to say developmental, but this intermediate bracket, these players would never be in a gold medal game.
No. They
would be experiencing it, watching it from a bench, but they wouldn't be actively competing in a gold medal environment.
You're 100% right. I got to tell you, I don't know why. I don't even remember my reasoning, but I think when they first announced that they were going to this format, I thought that was silly, and I wasn't in favor of it. And I honestly can't tell you why, because there's nothing I don't like about it. I really, I think it provides something special for our game.
I think coming up at a time where I experienced both formats, coming up on the Jersey Thunder team, I got mercy game after game, and that really helped fuel a fire in me.
Yeah.
Those off seasons, I put in a lot of work, and it definitely helped me get to where I am now. So I'd like to attribute those mercies, those spankings to my progress.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I would have been getting those beatdowns in a developmental bracket, so that is one proponent to the mixed format.
Yeah. It's an interesting way to look at it because I think there's a lot of people who, go the other way from your experience. They get beat down quite a bit and they get so discouraged that they're done. And I think this is one of those. That's quite all right. Beat baseball has its place, and I'm glad it exists for those who want to play that too. But it's one of those deals that no, you're right though. I mean, you switch sports, you go do something else, and I think goalball is still the marquee game for our group of our community, our disability. And that one pops through the arms of number 7, and we have a 1-goal game.
We got a adjustment that needs to be made here.
Yep.
That's
you got to tighten up those arms. He's just not bodying up the ball, and he has time. Both of those shots were fairly slow for him to adjust to if he wanted to. Just didn't quite do it, so it's now 6-5 in favor of the Wolves. And but the Renegades are coming.
my philosophy when I block a ball. You see my center, he got all the way to that line. He's trying to now overextend, which can leave him vulnerable to a cross-court shot.
It could.
My mentality is to get the beefiest part of our bodies onto that ball. Dive to get our chest on it.
Sure.
Dive to get our thighs on it instead of our furthest extremity.
Yeah, I never really had that problem since I'm pretty much the same skinny width the entire way up my body. So, but I'm with you though. And Al Simpson calls a timeout here on the Wolves side, and they will collect and they will confer with each other.
Good timeout.
Yeah, number 7 clearly still learning the game a little bit. He's simply sitting on the ball on the side rather than joining the community here in the middle for the timeout discussion. But Hal's going to go directly to him, and they'll discuss what they want to do next here. Sort of a disjointed timeout for the Wolves.
It's a little bit
just the little
scattered.
things. Yeah, these are the little things that you see. You can, and what's nice about the stream and everything is these are going to post. So even if as a coach you want to go back and say, hey, here's, you can do some film study nowadays, which is pretty great. Even if you can't see, your coach can sit with you and say, okay, I'm looking right at the tape, and here's what we did do, and here's what we should have done.
It just kind of, it's a morale thing. It's
sure.
Especially after 2 goals allowed, you want to make sure you stay together as a unit.
Oh, there it is.
Oh man.
Number 3. I think number 7 got away with a high ball on the last one of the last throws he did after giving up that second goal, so that's tough.
Wow.
Number 3 is step up. It is. We could have a tie right here if the Renegades are able to take advantage. And this is the thing about playing players that you know. The Renegades smelled blood in the water and they knew where to go.
Yeah.
Now Allison Knuckles, the official, is going to come out. I believe she's checking his shades. The number 3 here.
This could be a tie game in a matter
Very well could be if they can take advantage of this penalty they have. The number 3 will set up just off to the right side of the center stick. The ball in the 9 hole with Newsom. Newsom will move back around to the 3. 2-3, yeah. And he will sling. This one goes right for the pocket, and he's got it. And we have a tie game, ladies and gentlemen.
What a shot. Shout out.
Really good spotting there.
My man Kendall. Nice guy. He's such a polite. Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
The wheels of the bus are falling.
And now we have the eye shade penalty on the same defender here, number 3. And the Renegades are going to have a shot now to take the lead.
The 2-for-1 special.
It is. I'm not quite sure how that one happened, or if it was beforehand. That's why she had to check him, or if it happened after the fact. But Allison had her eye on him for sure, one way or the other.
Good officiating.
Newsom now from the 9 hole. He'll fire the other way, and he'll score again. And now we have a
execution.
lead. They were down by 3, and now we have them up by 1. Is there?
Kendall Newsom, I love to see the growth. He was one of those players that I wouldn't be playing against him. I'd just shake his hand after the game because he was on the bench. But now he's getting that opportunity to shine. I love it.
Number 3, slinging the ball into the 5. Newsom will collect. Newsom now with a 1-goal lead.
Listen to him talking to his wings, getting everybody calm.
The kid's a leader, and it's so much easier to lead when you're having fun and you're getting comfortable. Big looping skip shot. That one it might find the net, and it does. We have a tie again, ladies and gentlemen.
The centers here in Atlanta.
Yes, it is. A big looping shot. Newsom wasn't able to touch it, and the wing behind him was not able to get a good hit on that one, and it does find the back of the net.
I really like that ball. A short cross, a 46 from the center, and with that kind of action on the ball, difficult to read. Who
Newsom.
throws this out?
Newsom being aggressive there. He moves over to collect the ball from the wing line.
It's a
And he
great
fires a
Goalball
cut
name.
gap. To right. The number 3, responsible for the last couple of penalties. This one